Sun's barely gone, engine scream. Monday night don't mean no dream. Dirt track prepped, clay packed tight. This town's awake for a full throttle fight. Steel and rubber, row on row. Different rides, but one thing's known. When the green flag starts to wave, only the fearless get brave. Tracks keep changing, setups too. New lines, new battles, nothing new. It's Monday Night Mayhem. Hear the thunder roar. Brought to you by Knuckleheadz Racing. Always wanting more. Cars are ready, drivers insane. Fearless under lights, born for the strain. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Hell yes they can. 1 week slick, next week rough. Short track, tight than a mile of dust. Late models, mods, sprints and flight. Every lap's a test on a Monday night. No comfort zone, no easy way. Adapt to get left in the clay. Grip disappears, lines fall apart. That's where you separate the men from the heart. It's a Monday Night Mayhem, no holding back. Knuckleheadz Racing, putting skill to the track. Under the lights, every move is loud. Fearless drivers, knuckleheads proud. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Broadcast live, calling every slide. Is Bob the man from down under, right by our side. Every pass, every bump, every stand, bringing the action coast to coast, lap by lap. When the groove fades and the cushion's gone, Knuckleheadz drivers just digging strong. It's a Monday Night Mayhem. Last lap stand.
Alright, BobbethTV is live. You know what that means, with another episode of Mud Mule TV coming your way. We are live here with our final racing day of the iRacing League. USA Motorsports. My God, I missed half the name there. Limaland Motorsports Park is the host. Limited late models are the car. iRacing League's Yoda Outlaws late model series is here. They're about 9.5 minutes into practice, with about 12 cars registered, 11 on the track so far. We'll get down and have a look at some times. Josh Roberts, happy birthday for yesterday, sir. Good luck out there today. Second quickest, 12.313. Kent does have quick time. That is Josh Roberts' teammate with a 12.249. Just a thousandth of a second slower than Josh Roberts in third. Quickest Travis McDonald, 12.314. Just a thousandth of a second slower than him. Brian Angel in fourth. Quickest 12.315. Those times are so close. And we've got 12.363. And that is actually 3 lots of 12.363. Dawson Potter tied down man. Wayne Bridges, 5th, 6th and 7th quickest respectively. 12.395 for Mike Mad Dog Davis. Brett Vanderman 12.407 and 12.464 for Mikey Mr. Bryce Freeze has 12.495 and 13.350. Chris Cronut first time out on the track. 12.644, he brings it down to. Looks like 12.6s seem to be the average time. Seems to be about pace. Tuesday night in the States, Wednesday morning US, middle of the week for me. How's your week been, guys and girls? I hope it's been good. Just a little under 4 minutes left in practice before we get to qualifying. The lineup tonight, what we got? Just 15 lap Consi, so the winners of the heats will go straight through to the feature. Set ourselves up for 15 lap Consi, that'll set the rest of the field. believe Travis McDonald was our winner last week. Double checking the late model series. No, it was Ken McLean. Ken McLean, our points leader, coming into tonight by 6 points over Travis McDonald. John Bennett apparently in third. He is our winner from last week, I-55. So Ken McLean, despite having a quick time, looks like he may be our Heat 1 guy to watch. We'll be starting rear of field in the feature race tonight. That's just the feature. 65. So 80 green flag laps here tonight. In the Conzi in the feature. No problem screaming through that in the late models. Taz, TNT Motorsports Network in the chat. No, this is Lima Land. Lima Land. Lima. How do you say it? Lima? I think it's Lima, isn't it? Lima Land. Lima. I don't know. Lima Land Motorsports Park. We're in Lima, USA. Lima, as in lie, the not the truth. Add over Twitch. Or is it Lee? Lee the name, I guess. 4633 seems to be quick time at the moment. That belongs to Josh Roberts. Last lap, Ken McLean and Michael Mad Dog Davis having a bit of a battle there. Uncharacteristically, Michael Mad Dog Davis down low, Ken McLean up high. Lima Land. Okay, Lima Land. So Lima, USA. Lima. Lima's in the colour. Fruit. But I do know that is obviously part of the Bob charm, the mispronunciations of everyone's names and towns. But we'll try and get them right as we can, when we can. It's always a good idea. Less than a minute to go in practice. Ty, good luck out there. Thank you for the like, brother. Six Crickets running a 12.9 at the moment, sitting in the pits. The 24. Good luck, my man. Welcome back. I love Michael Mad Dog's Davis's profile picture down there bottom left. So happy with that plunger on his head. Checkered flag on the practice time. It is now down to the business part of the broadcast qualifying. Boys are going to try and set the 12 quicker times inside their starting order. Looks like it's going to be two heats. Two heats of 6, I would wager. We got there Mikey Mixter, Kent McLean. Always the first guy out on the track, Kent McLean. There's Mikey Mixter, Wayne Bridges as well. Right down, man. Mikey Mixter will be the 1 on the leaderboards, the 0 on the screen. Spitting up a bit of clay there. 12.721 is our first time on the board, Kent McLean. Mikey Mixter with the cell, 12.728, 12.812 for Wayne Bridges. For Brett Vanderwood, Ty Dalman, Mike Davis to get some times on the boards very soon. They're all out the track as well. Quite the dirty dozen tonight. Yeah, it is. It is the dirty dozen tonight. Pity you're not up in the flag stand for us. There's Dawson Potter. McLean still quick time. Oh, lap of the beast, 12.666. Mikey Mixter second quickest. Wayne Bridges still in at third with Mike Davis. Dawson Potter fourth and fifth quickest. Ty, Brent and Josh rounding out the 6th, 7th and 8th spots. We've still got 3 more cars to qualify out there. Bryce Freeze with a 13.292. That's Travis McDonald on our screens. He's been having a very tricky week this week, Travis. Not as dominating as he has been. He's had to sort of face a few guys who've sort of leveled up a little bit and putting on a bit more of a competition in that midfield coming from the rear. Not as easy as it has been in the past. Chris Perotta is going to get himself a third quickest time there, 12.791. Ended up locking in a top 5 run, 12.816, just 4 thousandths of a second slower than Wayne Bridges. 13.062 is that second time for Chris Perotta. There's the 7 of Brian Angel. Running at 13.237, that puts him in 11th quickest at the moment. I think that might have been his second lap as well, 2.5 minutes into qualifying, but I think that is it. Enough time for the guys to fill their water up, stretch their legs, check in with the crew chief. All of that junk. We'll get our heat racing going. Normally under heat racing conditions, inside line would be decided by heat 1, outside line by heat 2 tonight. The 2 winners of the heat races will go straight through to the feature. And then the remaining 10 cars will race it out in a B-main in the Constellation race for 15 laps to decide their starting order in tonight's main event. 65 laps here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Let's get the grid up on our screens here. Alright, Ken McLean and Chris Perotta, they are going to be on that front row. Middle row is going to be Travis McDonald, Dawson Potter. Third row is Josh Roberts, Brian Angel. 6 laps. Pace Trust's going to lead them around. Track a couple of times. We'll get this started. Who will be our first transfer? Even if it's the 75, Kent McLean, who is in the favourite position. He's the odds-on to do it, being the pole position starter in Heat 1. Quite the accomplished driver down low as well. But we'll be taking a rear of field start in our 65 lap feature, as he was our winner last week. Like he's taking the EOL in the heat, but no, just off the gas doing something there, it looked like. Pace truck into 3 and 4. Let's get our first of 2 heat races going. 6 laps. Limaland Motorsports Park. This is the year of Outlaws of the late models. There's limited late models here tonight. Thank you, Knuckleheadz iRacing League. Chris Potter and Dawson Potter getting a good run. It's always hard for me when those two are in the same heat. They're always so close. It's currently Travis and Dawson battling for 3rd and 4th. Dawson up high, Travis down low. Chris Perotta up there in 2nd. Kepic Plumbing Services late model. Ken McLean though is our race leader. One track really sort of available for any sort of racing or competitive sort of challenging. Really just relying on people to hit their marks and miss their marks, choose a different line, things like that. Not set correctly, make a mistake, but so far so good. Dawson Potter has managed to lock that 3rd place run in. He's up there behind Chris Potter at 2nd. Behind him in 4th, Josh Roberts and Brian Angel 5th and 6th as we get our white flag lap. A very quick run of our Heat 1 situation. There he goes. Ken McLean will get the checkered flag. Minute 16, or minute 15, I guess, rolled back a little bit. Brian Angel in 6th, Josh Roberts 5th, Travis McDonald 4th, Dawson Potter in 3rd, Chris Perotta 2nd, but of course Kent McLean was our Heat 1 victor. Let's get on over to Heat 2. There are the 6 cars of the Dirty Dozen. Thank you for that, Taz. I am stealing that. All right, Mikey Mixture, Wayne Bridges, they're going to be on that front row. Michael Mad Dog Davis and Ty Down Man on that second row. Brett Vanderwood and Bryce Freeze on that third and final row. It was a bit of a stacked Heat 1. Heat 2 is sort of all the guys who, given the opportunity, will have a run at it. So, quite interesting. We're going to have someone new on the front row. Will it be Mike Mixture or Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis, Ty Man, Brett Vanderwood or Bryce Freeze? We're going to find out. You're welcome, Bob. Thank you, my friend. Right, pace trucks left, Heat 2, our last heat race for the racing week. Mikey Mixter is going to be the down low momentum builder, get the race lead on Heat 2. He's going to have, who's that? Wayne Bridges up high, Mike Davis down low behind them. It's Ty and friend Bryce Freeze, I think, is the up high car. So just all still too wide here. This is quite interesting racing. As they gridded up and as they started, that's how they are. Doing that highlight momentum run though. Right as well, Mikey Mixter looking to keep that run going, but I think it's going to be a bit late. Wayne Bridges, yeah, is going to come screaming past before he realises, oh, Ty sneaks down below Mikey Mixter. How did he find any room down there? Holy cow. And then that backstretching through and for the second last time in heat racing situation. It will be a constant battle, 15 laps up next. Now 65 lap main event. It looks like it's going to be Wayne Bridges that is going to come down that backstretch for the final time in the race and lead. Ty's down low, but he's not going to have anything sort of available to him as Wayne gets the checkered flag. Good run. Thank you for the like, Dawson. Good luck in the consi, my man. As we just await the results. We might lose them. Brett Vanderwood 6th, 5th, Mike Davis, Mike Mixter 4th, Bryce Freeze 3rd, Ty Down Man 2nd, and Wayne Bridges is our racer. Let's see if we can just officially get them on the screen. There we go. All right, our 10-car grid for our B main. It is going to be Chris Potter and Ty Down Man on the front row. Dawson Potter, Bryce Freeze, 2nd row. Travis McDonald and Mikey Mixter will be the 3rd row. 4th row is going to be Josh Robertson, Michael Mad Dog Davis. 5th row will be Brian Angel and Brett Vanderwood. Yoda Outlaws late model series. Yoda Outlaws boys got that final row together. Let's see if they can come from the rear and get themselves a B main podium. 15 laps. This will decide the starting order for the remainder of the field. The winner of this race will actually score feature start because Kent McLean will have a rear field penalty for the win last week. So high stakes in the B main 15 lap dash here. Winner getting the winner picking up the B main win, but we'll pick up the pole position start in our 65 lap feature. Oh, that coffee's cold. Heart attack as we do. Let's go already, says Bender. Chris Potter up that front row. Still Bryce Freeze, Mikey Mixter, Dawson Potter's going to make a bit of a run as they were almost 3 wide. Let's get our racing cams happening a bit here. We investigate that way. Griff the Merciless, good evening, kind sir. Welcome in. Tied down there, Bristol, just right second, Dawson Potter third, Mikey Mitchell, Bryce Freeze, sorry Bryce, Valiant for fourth and fifth, Alex 6 to 10, Mike David, Josh Roberts, the Yoda Boys, Brett Vanderwood, Brian Angel, lap 5 of 15. No, I was on the wrong screen. I had Streamlabs in the background. I was a stupid mistake. I'm going to fix that today. I'm going to fix everything. I'm going to redo my streamer bot and stuff. Got a streamer bot. So I want to see if I can get the multi-streaming going on OBS as well. Halfway mark of our B-main 15 lap battle. Ty is still our race leader. He's got almost a second lead over Chris Perrotta, Bryce Freeze, Dawson Potter and Mikey Mitch to Josh Roberts, Mike Davis, Brett Vanderwood, Brian Angel, Travis McDonald is a lap down. Something's happened to him. He's ended up towing himself to the pits, it looks like. One day I'll really high set up next time so you can all tab freely. I've got 3 screens, so I should just have one screen that I don't touch, and that's Streamlabs. Well, yeah, the streaming software. And then I've got 2 other screens. One screen to fuck with, and one screen to do my actual, racing or whatever. Barely hear you over the engines, by the way. Okay. I'll bring that back down a little bit. How's that? Lap 12 of 15. It is, lap 13 of 15. Ty Diamond is still our race leader. Now remember, normally the winner of the B-main would line up behind pole position, second row inside pole lineup. But due to Ken McLean scoring penalty, the oil start here tonight, rear field start where this race will be our pole position starter and will get the opportunity of a lifetime. 65 laps, white flag, here we go, last lap. Comes through the 10s. Chris Perrotta back there in second place, can see him, but not going to have enough track to get their checkered flag. Just a broadcasting 30,000 series where it was only 12 cars to qualify for the feature. Remember that? Alright, Consi results. Let's see if we can get them on our screens here. Travis McDonald 10th, Brian Angel 9th, Brett Vanderwood finished in 8th, Mike Davis 7th with Josh Roberts in 6th. Our top 5, Mikey Mixter, Bryce Freeze, Dawson Potter in 3rd, Chris Perrotta 2nd, and Ty Dowman, our B-main victor. Let's get over to our grid. As we know there, Kent McLean will be going rear of field, so our front row will be Ty Dowman and Wayne Bridges. Second row is going to be Dawson Potter and Chris Perrotta. That had to happen like that, didn't it? Dawson Potter and Chris Perrotta, second row. Third row, Mikey Mixer and Bryce Freeze. Fourth row is going to be Mike Davis and Josh Roberts. Fifth row is Brian Angel and Brent Vanderwood. Sixth row is going to be Kent McLean and Travis McDonald. That's kind of fitting as well, considering those two also rivals in points in just about every series we have going on at the moment. The Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series Limited Late Models here at Lima Land Motorsports Park, Lima, USA. The Dirty Dozen. Oh, it looks like Kent's lined up behind Travis, actually, instead of taking the side-by-side grid. Giving himself the true rear field penalty. Pace trucks left the track, drop, the flag will drop, the lights will go red. We're going to get this going, 65 laps. And Ty continue that run from that B main all the way through the feature. 5 times the racer. MOTO Ty, good luck, son. Kenneth McLean with the light. Kent McLean starting rear of field. Good luck to you, Ken. Second, Mikey moves to fifth. No, Mikey moves up to fourth, moves back to fifth. Bryce 3-6, Mike Davis and Josh Roberts swapping spots. Josh Miller 7th, Mike 8th, Brett Vanderwood, Brian Angel 9th and 10th, Travis McDonald and Ken McLean 11th and 12th as limited late models getting up to speed. Lumberland Motorsports Park, a bit of a technical track, but very forgiving with the late models. Quite a good one. I learned to drive this exact car on this exact track. Able to keep it tight, you can go down low, but if you like to send it, just build momentum up high, works just as well. Mike Davis, Brett Vanderwood battling it out there. Travis McDonald just gets himself under Brett Vanderwood there and gets past Brent with the 11 of Bryce Freeze back there as well to make that same run. Low seems to be quite speedy at the moment. Yeah, a little bit of contact. Not very at all. They keep going forward, which is good. Wayne Tyre broken away from that top 3 pack. Potter leading the top 3 group. Just throw Josh Roberts, Mikey Lister up on the lead. A couple more laps. We're 50 away into this battle. Constellation was 15 laps. This one is 65. Ty kept him run up. He was pretty confident in the B main run there once he got that car going. All caution has come out. See anything in the telemetry to show who it might have been, who's falling down the field. I see anyone falling down the field. Someone going into the pits. Brian Angel and Brett Vanderwood did. Have a look from here. Tyre avoids the 8th though. Shoot up into the wall there. Doesn't shoot up, drives up the wall, saves it, but doesn't look like he's able to get it back up to speed. So not registered as a crash by telemetry. I do multi-stream via Streamlabs, yes. So if I can get that over to OBS working properly, then that will be better because then I'd have to pay for it. I pay for it via Streamlabs. And I prefer to do it via OBS and not pay for it. So Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Should be doing YouTube right now, yes. Yeah. It's just YouTube. YouTube.com/@BobbethTV. Alright, off we go and racing again. Yeah, currently live on YouTube. Yeah, I think Taz. Yeah, Taz is watching from YouTube. TNT Motorsports is watching from YouTube. Lap 16 of 65. Potter's going to try and sort of hang on and not let them break away as much as they did. Josh Roberts a little bit down lower than he is, moving up behind him between Dawson and Chris Barotta there, third, fourth, and fifth. Just seems working against you won't load it all. It's weird. I can see it's live in my channel manager. Whoa, 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 whoa. And obviously the volume's working as well. Yeah, no, it's working fine for me. 22 of 65 here into this battle. Toyota Outlaws Late Model Series Knuckleheadz iRacing League's last race of the racing week, broadcasted wise. They do have the asphalt NASCAR racing tomorrow. Tied up man our race. And leader Wayne Bridge is still in second. Josh Robertson, Dawson Potter battling third and fourth. Dawson's up high, Josh down below. Kent McLean, Josh Roberts' teammate, has made his way in to the top five from the rear of the field. That is pretty good. Chris Protos in sixth with seventh. Mikey Newster eighth. Chuck battle with Mike Davis in ninth. Brett Vanderwood at Bryce Freeze and Brian Angel 10th, 11th and 12th. Okay, cool. I'm also an idiot. I got onto my internet provider today, so sort of like we had upgrades recently, like a while back in our internet where our minimum internet went from 100 megabit to 500 megabit, but mine didn't really upgrade that much. And I was always under the assumption or told by text that it was because of the phone lines in the streets. But I contacted my neighbours, my internet, and they were like, no, you're completely fibre optic, and it's my cabling. And I checked it out, and it is my cabling. So we'll be fixing that later today as well. Door-to-door action there. That's Josh Roberts, Dawson Potter. They're still battling for that top five run. Josh is in fourth and Dawson up high in fifth. Wayne Bridges is falling back to third with Kent moving up into second. Oh no, they're battling side by side, it would seem. Yeah, I can just see that battle there at the right of our screens. Oh, it's just ahead. It looks like Wayne down low with a good run, which normally is where you see Kent McLean. Oh no, that is Kent down low. Oh, looks like one of the boys popped up into the wall there. That's the 44 of Dawson Potter. Might have been Brett Vanderwood maybe. Oh, a few guys did pass Dawson. Might have been Travis actually. Travis behind? No, who's that behind him? Like 27 had a little bit of a tap, 44 stuck on that wall. YouTube is live and well. Yeah, UK thing then. It's our second yellow flag for the feature race. That one's come out on lap 32. Back racing at lap 35 of 65, almost the halfway mark of this battle. McLean got the start there. Ty able to hold on for about 30 odd laps, but Kent has been fighting his way to the front. Now he's down the low where he can really do that damage. Back there behind him, just outside that top 5, Wayne Bridges. Trying to race his way back in, trying to continue Mike Mixer, Mike Davis, Brett Vanderwood, Travis McDonald up ahead of him. Are you far from the mics on this? No, never. The mic's always on my head. Like it doesn't move. Let me just make sure I am, like, on the right microphone. Because that'd be funny. Yeah, Barracuda. Oh, wait. Wait. I think it was, is your voice far from your head sometimes? No, I think there was a problem, and I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. There was a dodgy property. Sorry about that. That might's okay. Yep. Let's have a look and see what happened here. Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis, I believe. There's Wayne up high. Oh, Wayne blinked out of it there. Got caught up at the end of the wall. Here comes Mike Davis. He's going to be unable to avoid contact with the 92. And that is our latest caution. Let's just have a quick look and see what was my default microphone. So that's what it was set to. So I think it was set to the webcam. Where's my mouse gone? Oh. Alright, single file restart. We're not up to the lead, Bob. Oh. Why's Mike Davis scored in the race lead? There we go. Kent McLean. Josh Roberts, Chris Brodett, Mike, that's right, Travis Davis, Travis McDonald, Mikey Mixter, that's the 1 to 6, the 7 to 12. Is Brett Vanderwood, Josh Potter, Brian Andrew, Bryce Freeze, Michael Davis, Wayne Bridges. My God, I need to get to my heading again. 42 or 65. Ken McLean was our points leader coming into tonight's battle, had the rear field start, made his way all the way back up to our race lead. He has had a dominating week this week. Last week it was Travis. This week Ken has come out swinging. And that might have explained why it was hard to hear my voice over the race sound, I guess, as well now. Battling for the 4th and 5th positions there. Mikey Mixter just behind him, just outside the top 5. Podium runners just up the front there. Josh Robertson 3rd, Tony Mount 2nd. Ken McLean currently in 1st. Groove racing 2 of the top 3 spots. Laps remain. So Travis secured the 4th place run. Sort of locking in mid to high line run down the straightaways, but a little bit more of a mid run through the turns. But Travis does have that run on him, about half a second gap as he makes his way up into that top 3 run up against Josh. Almost 10 laps remain. McLean broken away from Ty there, 1.5, 1.7 seconds. Lap traffic there in the form of Mike Davis, the 99 car, not a part of the positional battles. Alright, single digit laps remain, 57 of 65 in. Looks like Travis McDonald starting to put a bit of a run on Josh for that top 3. Needs to maximise those points to keep that chase against Kent McLean alive. John Bennett, Kent McLean and Josh Roberts' teammate, not here tonight. He's 3rd in points, so yeah, every point counts for Travis as well as Kent. He's got that lead over 2 seconds now on Ty in 2nd place with just over 5 laps remaining. Wayne and, sorry, not Wayne, Mike Davis here and Ty Dalman having a great battle. But unfortunately, Mike Davis a lap or two laps down. Back there in 11th place. Ty Dalman in 2nd, just pushing his way past him. He's got about 3 laps. Not going to have enough time to build anything back up against Kent McLean, almost 3 seconds ahead. But certainly going to put a bit of distance between Josh and Travis, who are battling for that 3rd and 4th spot behind him. Alright, we are 2 to go. No white flag lap. Kent McLean just got the start finish line as I saw that. Comes through 3 and 4 for that last time. He's going to race Wayne Bridges to the start finish line in a spiritual battle. But we'll take the Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series victory here at Lima Lane Motorsports Park. Let's check something here. It was Jim on Sunday night, and then Kent. Pretty sure Kent. Yeah, Monday. All right, let's see if we can't get the results up on the screen. Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series coming to a conclusion. Wayne Bridges in 12th. Motegi Mafia's Mike Davis and Bryce Freeze at 11th and 10th. Yoda Outlaws picked up the 9th and 8th spots with Brett Vanderwood and Brian Angel. KHR's very own Dawson Potter in 7th with bottom feeder Speed Coast. Mikey Mixter in 6th. Our top 5 was Lunatic Racing and Motegi Mafia driver Chris Perotta. Travis McDonald finished 4th. Groove Racing's Josh Roberts and birthday boy yesterday. Happy birthday for yesterday, Josh. In 3rd. Dirty Boys Motorsports tied our man in 2nd. After a great B-main win in a very good 30 laps in the start of this feature battle. But the winner, Triple Groove Racing's Kent McLean, getting the job done quite convincingly tonight. Once he got that run to the front. All right, let's get his interview details up on the screen. Interview channel is open. Jump into the Discord. All right, here is the man. A bit of a You've had a similar run over the last 3 races, last night especially, and then carrying it over 2 tonight. Kent 3, is it a lot? No, dollars, not really, but wins out of 4 races, yeah. I was struggling to remember if you took Sunday night out, but I remember Jim Revis getting the important points, UMP win, so only able to get the 3 of the 4. But yeah, picking up the win here tonight. Looked like Ty was keeping that spot warm for a good 30 or so laps, while it looked like that fight from the back wasn't going to happen for a bit. But then next thing I knew, you were just top 5, and then that was it. You sort of head down, bum up, and just did the work from there to get it to that restart that you got the race lead on, and took it from there for the last half of the feature. But how hard work was that?
At first, I didn't. I figured I'd probably, if it went green, I probably wouldn't have caught the top 5. But that first caution, we regrouped, and I was like, all right, if I have anything, this is where I need to pick off some spots and maybe get a caution depending on what the top 3s, how far out they get. And I found the low line in 1 and 2 and mid in 3 and 4, and I was picking guys off pretty quickly with the low line in 1 and 2, and then kept keeping my momentum in 3 and 4. So that felt good. And then the second caution come out, and I was like, all right, really didn't want to be on the high side here on this restart. So luckily, Ty, he run in there and got up his high line, and I was like, perfect. So I just run my middle line and dove down low on 1 and 2, and within a couple laps, I pulled from him. I was like, well, I've found the line for the rest of the race I'm running. So, but yeah, it was definitely a fun race.
No, it looked it, and a lot of the times in those first 30 laps when we did up until I sort of noticed you in the top 5, when we did have a look at how it was going, where you were, it was always the opposite. Yeah, it was you highlight someone battling on the low line, and then you would see that slight swap. Someone they would either concede the line or just drift up and run the high line down the straightaway, and you would get that run and then the position and then continue on. But it's great to see that Josh sort of started that trend of challenging you on that low line, sort of seeing what it was about. And it looks like a lot of the other guys, but it did look like here at Lima Land that the low line, it was definitely there at the start. Obviously, that momentum build and having the acceleration was working well, but it seemed to come back. Like it didn't, it would never seem to sort of. I mean, I wasn't on the track, didn't seem to go away, but it just seemed to be whenever someone needed it, it was there. It wasn't really a hindrance too much. It wasn't the wrong line when people did pick it. But it just seemed to be that a lot of people were sort of playing with the low line tonight.
Yeah, the low line, even in these cars, I mean, they don't have a whole lot of ass to them. So
Yep.
when it gets dry slick, you kind of try to find the moisture. That's why I was sticking them mid 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 it was moisture down low. Besides toward the end, but when you set the car up, you just drifted it in, and then not even half throttle, and then rolled back into it, so you didn't step out too much. And these cars, it's all about keeping as straight as possible because momentum's key in these. So if you can find a track that and a line that works where you can keep the momentum up, running the low line, I'm going to be there every time. But yeah, it was still throttle control in these. Even up top when like the heat race, I wasn't wide open, which I probably could have been, but and I just stuck it up there. I was like, well, I know most of the time these are top dominant cars for the most part, depending on where you're at, just momentum wise, and I needed to get a few laps in up top in case I needed it in the feature, which
Yeah.
thank goodness I didn't need it. So I probably would have wadded up in the wall.
There was a couple like that where the wall wasn't as bad. Obviously, there's a lot of tacky stuff between the wall and the sort of the high line where you can run quite fast. And because these guys, you like I say, they don't have a lot of arse to them, so they don't really push too much through the turns, so you can really build that momentum. And we did see that. I think Travis, he was another one that back at the rear of field is just like he's had that sort of challenge all week where that's midfield pack's been a bit of a battle there. They've sort of leveled up a bit where it's not as simple to sort of race your way through and be patient in cautions. You've really got to work for your spots now. And who else? There was another one, Wayne Bridges. You could just see it. It was one of those highline momentum builds where unless you were running, mirrors quite often and looking at them, you didn't know where people were, and you wouldn't know that they had that run until they were coming past you. It was too late. The engine noise, there would have been too much engine noise to sort of really tell if they were building or just sitting behind you. But yeah, we saw a couple of those runs where just you persevere with that high line, and it's obviously Josh, another one that's sort of good at that, and obviously he had a good battle with Travis in that situation where Travis was on the low line instead of the high line. I think that's the only reason maybe why he didn't fare as well in that battle and finished fourth. But yeah, it was funny how the track, as I say, I feel like it's a late model track. It's the track I learned to drive limited late models on, late models totally on. And I just feel like it just is a giving track. It doesn't, I think the infield tires were only an incident once, and it was a very rare thing. Like I say, you don't really get up in the wall. It's just a good racy. It's tight and technical, but it's a good racy track, and I think you guys put on an amazing show.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a really racy track. I like this one. Yeah, and then coming from the back, Travis got tangled up. I think a couple guys got together and it checked him up where I got a few spots I believe in front of him, so that gave me a little breathing room. But it's starting in the back with these guys, it's because like the first couple of laps, I was really patient and I didn't want to run into anybody or tear up the car right off the bat. So a lot of it is capitalize on key moments. And, if obviously don't force anything, but if you see an opportunity, you can you need to take it because a lot of these guys they're getting a lot faster and it's hard to get around them. So that's why I stick to the low line. Some of these guys are really figuring it out, but like I messed with Chad. I was like, give me a few laps. You'll mess up. I'll get you. So, but it's like Foxworth and the UMPs. I pressured him for I don't know how many laps, and he never budged. And he had an awesome race. So, it was. And that's I kind of moved around in the UMP and then I was just kind of content for third trying to battle Butler off. But yeah, I mean these guys are getting a lot faster. It's makes it that much more exciting.
It definitely does. I mean, we saw that in the heat racing tonight. Like if we sort of were sort of generically categorized you guys, heat one was pretty much sort of the the who's who of the favourites to win a heat race type of thing, and then heat two was basically all the guys that just do that big win, that next level sort of step up, and it allowed who was it? It was Wayne. I think that Wayne got the outside pole feature start. Ty got the promotion once you had the EOL after the B main win. So the B main, obviously was a lot more important than a standard just setting up the final 10 cars on the field, and it's those opportunities that, like I say, when I say that, the guys that when they do get those opportunities, they just it's great to watch them run with it and show that given the spot that they're due up there, and you guys can safely throw out a round where the starting lineup's inverted for the heats, and those it's not penalising people, it's giving people opportunity and stuff like that. So it's only making everyone better, which is great, and it's good for you because it puts it keeps you sort of growing and learning, but you're only as good as the people you beat. So the better they get, the better those wins will feel. And yeah, this one you definitely had to fight for to get there. But once you got there, 3.6 seconds on paper, that was a very very dominating last half, man. Congratulations. And as I say, last 2 nights, the last 2 races have. Last week was Travis. This week is you, and it's going to see who steps up next week and tries to take the reins from you guys. Bragging rights for one more week. Friends, family, sponsors. We're always happy to hear about them. Who do you need to give a shout out to for everything you get to do?
Yeah, the wife and kids, as always, let me do this. And you, Bob, for the broadcast. Yoda Outlaws for sponsoring the series. All the guys and admins at KHR, KP Plumbing Services, Bottom Feeder Speed Company. You know, like I always say, Roman here, we couldn't do it without each and every one of them. So, yeah.
No, definitely agree, my man. And a big thanks to you for everything you do, whether it's on the track or off the track. A classy bloke, and always happy to have you in the booth talking. All right, well, that's it till Sunday night. We'll see you again then. Good luck tomorrow if you're in the asphalt stuff. But until then, yeah, as I say, bragging rights and congratulations.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, mate. Bye. All right, that was Kent McLean, our winner here tonight for the Yoda Outlaws Limited Late Models. Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series, Limited Late Models here at Limaland Motorsports Park. That's going to wrap up our Racing Week broadcast. We'll be back again Sunday night US, which is Monday morning Australian. I'll be back Thursday night Australian, though, 6 p.m. On Twitch for my gaming streams. Currently playing God of War. Really loving it. Such a good game. Kenneth McLean, attaboy, tearing on Kent. Brian Angel Senior, nice win, KC. Great. Griff says, got to get to sleep, but don't forget to thank the wife and kids. Still, when I look at that, I still, it's like a struggle. Yeah, look, thank you so much, everyone, for coming along and watching. Josh, Ty, Dawson, and Kenneth for the likes of the broadcast. Taz for popping in via YouTube. Kenneth and Brian, Griff as well in the chat. I think that was it. Yeah. Till next time, you know the drill. Love yous all. My name's Bob. Boy.